We'll call the regular council land use meeting to order, and we'll start with number 1.
We'll move planning recommendations on 1.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move planning recommendations on 2.
Nope. Move the zoning on for. First on zoning.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
First.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
Second on the zoning.
Okay. Second. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move public hearing set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move the recommendation on number 2.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Number 3 is out of order, Madam Mayor. So I'm going to move planning recommendations on 4.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
On the zoning, the first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
And move public hearing be set for Monday, September 8th.
I just wanted to that there's some dialogue with the Ocean Park ratepayers on this project, just because it is a change and their concern is usually traffic circulation, because it's a busy area. Some power save mode here now, so I'm not sure. I don't put the power on.
Through you, Madam Mayor, to Councillor Villeneuve, yes, through pre-notification, the Ocean Park Residents Association was notified.
Okay, so they didn't express any concerns?
They did not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All righty then. Yeah, there we go. Powering back up. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Okay, I'll call the question on 5. All in favor?
Opposed.
All in favor?
I couldn't hear because of the screen. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. All in favor? Contrary?
Contrary.
Contrary?
On the OCP, move first.
And that is carried.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary?
Contrary.
Move second.
Second.
Contrary?
Contrary.
Seconder? All in favor? Contrary?
And the public hearing be set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary?
Contrary.
Contrary? That is carried.
On the first zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Public hearing be set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary?
On the
Carried.
second zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Public hearing be set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move planning recommendations on number 6.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
All
Second.
in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
On number 7, move planning recommendations.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Public hearing be set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried. Number 8.
Move a recommendation on 8. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Number 9, recommendation by planning.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Number 10 is a denial.
Number 10 is a denial. Is the applicant here on number 10? Please come forward. Just state your name and address for the record, please. And just, if you want to have a discussion as to why you think it shouldn't be.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mike Compter of Hub Engineering, 101-7485 130th Street. I've been asked tonight to speak on behalf of the family which owns these properties. The family is made up of two brothers and their families. They're law-abiding, hard-working members of society who've lived in Surrey for 20 years, and they're currently raising their families in Surrey. They came to me about 2 years ago indicating they had finally been able to get enough money and financing together to acquire some land, to buy this property and build their dream homes. The purpose of the family is to have two lots side by side so that they could build their homes, and they created plans originally when they bought this property to mirror each other. So it's a very specific design criteria when they bought this property. They also purposely chose this neighborhood. They wish to stay within this neighborhood that they currently reside. Please note, they are not developers. During the original application, it was noted to remove one tree from this property, which is the one that's on the, yes, that's the tree there. And at the time, it was proposed for removal, and everybody thought that was the way to go. Subsequently, staff came back and advised that they'd wish to retain this tree. So this created a lot of grief for the family, and their plans are now on hold because of this. They looked at ways of amending their plans to work around the tree, and the tree has always been the issue on this property here. Even if the house were made smaller, the tree would still be too close to the house. So the standard setbacks in Surrey for an RF lot is 7.5 meters. With this tree, the rear yard setback becomes 19.5 meters. So almost 3 times bigger than the standard rear yard setback on a lot. And also on top of that, the Engineering Transportation Department wants a 10-meter front yard setback beyond this standard 7.5 meter setback. This is a specific requirement for this particular road. So this is an extremely large encroachment on the lot. And needless to say, it basically kills the plans for these families. So what we're asking for is removal of this one particular tree. In exchange, they'll plant 8 trees, 3 on each lot and 2 on the boulevard. They're well liked in the community. They went to see their neighbors and canvassed their neighbors about removing the tree. And I have a petition here from the neighbors and a plan, if I could ask the planner to put this up on the screen.
Move receipt.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Sorry, and there's a petition as well. Sorry. Thank you. So the yellow property, the property that says subject property on the yellow, and unfortunately I should have used a different color highlighter, but it's the one in the middle, and maybe if the to the left, that one. That's the subject property. So it's going to be subdivided into 2 lots. So all the green highlighted lots are all the neighbors that they talked to and canvassed, and they've all signed the petition indicating their support in removing this tree. So the owners have agonized over this tree issue now for 2 years without resolution, and therefore we're in front of council tonight asking for council's support and direction to allow the homeowner to remove the tree and move forward with their lives. Thank you. If there's any questions.
Councillor Hepner?
Thanks, Madam Mayor.
So my understanding, Mike, did you take a look at the plan? Is it possible to move the house forward and sustain the tree?
No, not with their plans. What's been indicated is they'd have to rework their plans. It would be a completely smaller house. It's not the house that they originally proposed. In this situation, it's one of those things where you meet people in your lives where there are siblings that are very close, and these 2 brothers are very, very close. So then they came to me. Their original plan was we were looking for 2 lots side by side so that we can specifically build our houses. For some reason, they want them to be exactly the same, to be a mirror of each other. So for them, it doesn't work having one house a certain size, another house a different size. So that was their original intent for acquiring this property here.
And what about the root ball? If you move the tree, or if you move the house a little farther forward, does that...
It doesn't solve the problem.
Still a problem?
We've looked at that,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. We've looked at moving the houses, changing things. Unfortunately, it's just such an imposition on the lot that it creates an effect that doesn't work.
Okay. Then, Madam Mayor, I'm prepared to say It's a beautiful tree, and I wish it didn't have to go, but for 2 years, if we've been looking for a solution, I would recommend that we send it back to staff and have it removed.
Okay. Councillor Gill?
Members, just for purposes of clarification, if you could just help me out, just trying to better understand the additional requirements for road, if you could just kind of go back and speak to that. Was there additional allowance that was requested for road allowance on 124th? In the subdivision application?
Are you asking, okay, Mr. Engineer?
Either the applicant or Mr. Engineer, either or both.
Madam Mayor, I'm looking through the file. What I have talks to 7.5 meter setback, so I'm trying maybe the applicant's engineer can clarify where the 10 meter comes from, or the planner.
Okay.
It was
Can you clarify that, please?
Yeah, we understood it was a request from the Transportation Department that this particular road had a 10 meter. But it doesn't matter, even with, we go back to 7.5 or even a further relaxation, the tree's encroachment into the rear of the property, it just doesn't work. We looked at the scenario with planning of moving the tree forward, or sorry, not moving the tree forward, moving the house forward on the lot. It still created a situation where it was not achievable.
Okay, and maybe we'll just get clarification on that. I mean, with the variance, will that accommodate the integrity of the layout of the house as well as saving the tree, if there was...
Madam Mayor, we did speak to the applicant regarding our support of a variance to the front yard setback, and that was reviewed by the applicant but was not accepted by the applicant.
But the reason...
Okay, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sir, okay. Okay, so that was the recommendation from engineering, but the applicant did not agree to that. Is that what I heard you say?
We discussed the option of the applicant coming in with a variance to the front yard setbacks, and the applicant did not express interest in pursuing that with the city.
Did they give a reason for the city?
Not to my knowledge. There was a reason, but I don't recall what that was.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if I could respond to that. We did look at the variance. Sorry. Okay. So, we did look at that. The reason why it didn't work is because of the specific house plans that they were looking for. With the variance, with the tree, there would be a complete, total redesign of the house, and that just doesn't work for these two brothers.
Now, do they want the two houses close together because they want them connected?
No, they just want the two houses to mirror each other. So they're looking for the same house on each lot.
Okay. Councillor Gill, do you have anything further? Councillor Gill, are you fit? Did you have
No, that's it.
That's it? Okay. Councillor Martin?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I've got two questions for you. Must they mirror each other?
Yes, that's what they're looking for.
Because if you maybe flipped the house on the left to my left, would that accommodate the tree? And it'd still be the same design?
No, because then we start to impact the other tree on the other corner. At the front.
Okay. So is there a possibility then of removing that tree and putting it somewhere else rather than just chopping it down?
Unfortunately, it's a very large tree. I would love to do that, but it's just, I don't know if you physically could do that.
Shame. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Councillor Villeneuve?
Yeah, I was interested in your comments because in the recommendation it says the RF zone lot is of sufficient size, that the maximum size house permitted can be constructed with no impact to the tree, and that the design consultant for the subdivision confirmed that there's no need to remove the tree in order to accommodate a full-sized RF dwelling on the lot. So I'm a bit confused by your answers to that question in our planning report that says that actually the house could be accommodated on the lot.
What they're saying is a house can be accommodated on the lot. But we're saying these two brothers were looking to buy properties where they could build two exact same houses that would mirror each other. And so with the criteria that's is suggested would mean a total redesign of the one house. They would result in two houses that are not the same. They're not, that's the issue that they're
Oh,
struggling
it's just
with.
because they want a certain design and that can't be accommodated?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Gill?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just, Mike, if I could, I understand in the original subdivision application that, in fact, the tree was proposed for removal at time of application and at time of council approving it. In fact, that was expected that that tree would be removed, and subsequent to that, staff felt that that tree could be saved. That's just want to articulate the history a little bit clearer.
Mr.
Yes.
Applicant?
Yeah, so originally it was proposed for removal and nobody said anything. And then subsequent to that, it was re-reviewed by staff, and then they came back with a reversal on that requirement. I'd have to look up the dates on when those transitions occurred.
So during the application, we did not, or the city did not have a restricted covenant being put on this particular tree at time of subdivision, correct?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is
I made a
the
motion.
wish of council?
I made a motion, there just was no seconder. Is there no seconder?
Well,
Sorry. I recommend removal of the tree.
Second on the
So
removal
we'll
of the tree.
sending it back to staff, okay? Councillor Brissett, did you have your... Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor, contrary, and that is carried. Okay, number 11.
With the recommendation on number 11,
Second.
Okay, all in favor, contrary, carried.
on the zoning bylaw, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
Public hearing set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
Move the recommendation on number 12.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
Move second.
All
Second.
in favor, contrary,
The
carried.
public hearing was set for Monday, September 8th.
All
Second.
in favor, contrary,
On the
carried.
second zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
Move
carried.
second.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
The public
carried.
hearing was set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
On
carried.
13, move planning recommendations.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
On the OCP, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
Move
carried.
second.
All
Second.
in favor, contrary,
The public
carried.
hearing was set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried. 14.
Move planning recommendations on 14.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
On
carried.
the OCP, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
Move
carried.
second.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
The public
carried.
hearing was set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
First zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
The
carried.
public hearing was set for Monday, September 8th.
All in favor, contrary,
And
carried.
the second zoning, move first.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
Move
carried.
second.
Second.
All in favor, contrary,
And
carried.
the public hearing was set for Monday, September 8th.
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried. C1? C1? Can we get it on the table for discussion? Second? Okay. Councillor Gomez.
I just want to, this application came back fairly quickly. It was at the last public hearing. It's a subdivision for 49 single-family lots in the Ocean Park neighborhood. And, you know, there was concern about the density. There was concern about the lanes, which I think have been addressed, but particularly about the one access and then the traffic. So my understanding is now the only thing that we're doing differently on this application is to put in some speed bumps. Is that correct? Or is there other traffic calming measures that are going to be employed? Because there was a traffic control looked at the corner of 130th. I think the concern is the rat running of traffic in through the quieter neighborhoods, and I'm just not sure how that's being addressed by what has been detailed here in this report. So if you could elaborate on that.
Mr. Engineer?
Councillor Villeneuve, through the chair, the studies that have come back from the applicant show a 6% increase in traffic volumes in the
I
neighborhood.
can't hear you.
I'm sorry. The studies that have been prepared by the consultants that have been reviewed by the city show a 6% increase in traffic volumes on the fronting roads. Currently, at the one access, only 31 lots will have access to that one access. 14 lots will have access to the lane.
Can we see a layout of that so we know what we're looking at?
So as you can see, lots number 3 to 16 will have lane access. All the way to 16 is correct. And then the lots 1, 2, 48 and 49 will have access to 1/30th. There's also emergency access available through the park. There will be a path constructed between the park and with bollards, which will be available for emergency access if needed.
A fire truck could get in through.
Fire truck, ambulance, if for whatever reason the road is blocked at the other end. Traffic calming has been now placed as a requirement on the lane itself, north of the site. And properties east of the site, if they wanted to make application for traffic calming on 15A Avenue, I believe that's one of the areas that was brought up as a concern for speeding and rat running, they can make an application to the city that's described in the planning report. With a petition, we'll investigate and see if it warrants traffic calming in that neighborhood.
Well, is the neighborhood with the traffic calming initiative by petition, are they required to pay any money for the traffic calming?
Not if no.
And I just know that it takes quite a lot to get speed bumps into a neighborhood. And I just think that we need to be a little bit more proactive with that, with the developer paying for those costs. So that's my opinion on this project, because, I mean, I do know people are going to be using these neighborhoods, so at least to have the developer responsibility for some traffic calming measures onto those side streets, I think is important. And for us to reevaluate that light at 130th going on to 16th Avenue, because 16th is very busy. It's very, I use the area a lot. It's quite difficult to get out from this area onto 16th Avenue with the traffic coming and going fairly fast. So, and the school area with kids crossing the street. So I do have some concerns about that with the addition of 49 houses in this area. So I'll support the land use, but I guess that I'd really like to have the traffic calming measures reviewed and maybe articulated more clearly as part of the package, and to let the community know when we'll be doing a reevaluation of that lighted area for access to 16th Avenue.
Just in terms of the emergency access, can you show us on the, do we have that identified on one of the plans? Okay, is that just, it's not drawn yet?
That's correct. It will be a path through the park.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, it's a path through the park that will be built to withstand emergency vehicles.
Okay. That doesn't give me any comfort, because I'm thinking, so we're going to construct a path through the park that's going to just to be locked on one side?
That's correct. We'll have bollards at either end of the park, and if required, much like we have a number of emergency accesses through parks, we have bollards at either end with locks, and emergency services have access to those locks, and they can remove the bollards to get access to the site.
Yeah. Do we have an overview of that area there, the existing park, and the other, like a photo of that? There we go.
With Cosmos up, we can see the, whoops. So the access would be from 129th Street if we... That's the cul-de-sac for the park. That's the current path to Fun. Can you bring it back to the
Now, would
the
we
map,
use,
please?
okay, so the current path that's already there,
Heads
would we-
south. I'm sorry.
would we use that for emergency as well? My only concern is the starting to mow all these trees down now because we need to put an emergency exit in there because there's no other way for them to get in here.
Yes. Through the detailed design of the site, we would select with our Parks Department the best route to minimize impacts to the trees, the current trees in the park.
Okay. Councillor Hepner?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Can we go back and you could please just define for me what happened relative to the lane and the lane access that was expressed at the public hearing? And why can't one of these lots be the emergency access? You'd have to, rather than going through the park.
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor, to Councillor Hepner, in the original public information meetings, there was a laneway connecting the 15A Avenue cul-de-sac to the rear lane to help with circulation. But that was met with opposition for residents that live along the north side of the lane. And we looked at another alternative we introduced this alternative of going through Fun Park to deal with those concerns.
So the RF lots to the north objected to that
That's
access
correct.
point. Okay. And how then? So is this lane being widened, and these lots will access from the lane? Their front door will be off the back lane.
No, the laneway is currently 6 meters, which is sufficient and the standard width of all our lanes in Surrey. The houses in this subdivision will be fronting 15A Avenue with rear detached garages along the lane.
They were doing that. That's the one where they're doing the staggered garages in order
Correct.
to give it some complementary look on the other side.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Martin?
Thank you. Just for clarification, you did say there was going to be access off of 130th. Is that correct?
That's the only access.
That's the only access into.
No, but other than the park, emergency vehicles can use 130th. Because my big concern right now is if we have access through the park, and God forbid that we have an emergency and they can't get off of 130th and they've got to go through the park and there's all these families in there, how are we going to protect them? Sorry, I just need to understand, if they can't get off of 130th, then they have to use the park, but the park is full.
The park, just to clarify, Madam Mayor, the park, we will have an emergency access through the park. We'll have to design something with the help of the consultant to find a way through to 129th Street. The main access to the neighborhood, to this new development, is to 133 Street, like any cul-de-sac that we would have in Surrey, with access to 31 homes, which is not overwhelmingly large for a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty. All right. I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary? And that is carried. Okay. Number 2.
Move the recommendations on 2.
Okay. Seconder? Have a seconder to get it on the table?
I'll second it.
Okay. Councillor Villeneuve?
Just to take staff time one more minute, I'm wondering, I know that this application was tabled back because we were going to do a bit of a slope analysis, for development in this area. So I'm wondering if this recommendation is coming forward after that slope analysis was completed, or whether this particular subdivision isn't going to have a visual effect on the slope. I think it would be helpful for us to see from a bird's eye view what it looks like and what kind of impact it's going to have visually from 32nd Avenue. I think it's on a slope.
Through you, Madam Mayor, to Councillor Villeneuve. The applicant has retained or looked at a consultant in West Vancouver, and working with that consultant has come up with a plan to deal with the visual effect of, or the visual impact of the building on the hillside. Some of the things that they're proposing to do include using dark-toned or earth-toned roof and siding materials, which will help with blending into the hillside versus being in contrast with the surrounding vegetation. Also looking at reducing the impact of the north face, which is exposed to the 32nd Avenue, by limiting the amount of stories you can have on the north face, articulating the north face, and also stepping back the buildings so that they're not again presenting a 2 stories of building face to 32nd Avenue. They've also proposing to do some additional plantings and looking at specifying a minimum of 60 shrubs per lot to ensure that the hillside is heavily vegetated.
Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. And going to the
Move third on the zoning, number 2.
Seconder. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move final on H1.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Council's requested to pass a resolution amending the Rosemary Heights Business Park.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move final.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Amend South Newton Neighborhood Concept Plan to add the new road on number 3. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move final. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move DVP 1A. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move the fascia sign for Royal Bank 1B. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move DVP 1C. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move D.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried. Okay.
Move 2A.
2A.
Did we go through those 2A and B?
No. Okay. Can I have
I'll
somebody?
move 2A
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
and move 2B.
Okay. All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
And I'll move adjournment.
And move adjournment. All in favor? Contrary? That is